Hey there, everybody. I hope you are doing great on this Tuesday, April the 23rd. My goodness, we're just popping right through April. We got our first strawberry at the farm. Yesterday, my farmer sent me a photo of it, and it's just so cute. I mean, it is cute and it is red, but then it was 38 degrees last night. So I'm really hoping that that did not impact our upcoming crop. I think we're okay. Generally, if we don't get like some sort of freeze, we're good to go. Um, I'm finishing an abandoned journal today. I started this a little while back, and then I got distracted doing other things. So I thought we would sit here and we would finish this junk mail journal. Like I said, it's abandoned, and when I was thinking about this project to share with you guys today, I thought, wouldn't it be really cool to offer you 5 tips to finish an abandoned journal? Because I think we all get into these projects that we kind of leave by the wayside, and wouldn't it be fun to just have 5 easy tips to finish something like this up? My first tip is to do a flip through of what you've completed. Again, this is strictly junk mail. It's junk everything. I had some junky bits laying around, envelopes, advertising, Flo. I love Flo. I think she's so funny. So I just put this together, so we'll just flip through here real quick. You can see that I did some writing pages as well as just some eye candy pages. I like things like this, just junked up. And then I did stick a couple bookmarks in it. I'm going to go ahead and take those out because we're going to be proceeding to a couple more steps to get this abandoned journal all done, as my sweet little nephew would say. He's nonverbal, but one day he finished a coloring sheet at school, and then he popped out with the words, all done. And so now we just, we go with that. Bless his little heart. All right, so first thing we did was we kind of flipped through it and got a sense of where we were with the project. You also might get a sense of this is why I ditched this project. And either one of those is going to work for our next step. What we're going to do is we're going to finish the front and the back cover, because I think that those are important places to start to finish. Right now, because I have not bound this journal, we're going to work on that too. I can take it apart. I can take the innards and leave them over here and just kind of look at the front cover and determine if there's anything that I would like to do to this. And yes, there is. I would like to add some color to the front and the back. I can fold this out. This is, it's kind of handy, y'all, when you're just working on a junk journal like this, to leave that binding to the very end. I know when we get our pages in there that we're kind of excited about having pages to turn and not having them fall out, but just a suggestion to not bind that baby until you are you are at the end. Now comes the quandary of how can I put some color on this without painting it. I would suggest markers. I would suggest highlighters. This is not going to be complicated. What I'm going to do is use some Poétique markers. These are real brush pen watercolor markers that Chris got me for Christmas, and I love them, and they're a great way to add color without adding like water or acrylic paint and then having to wait on something to dry. So I think what I'm going to do is just I'm going to choose a yellow. I'm not going to be fussy about this. I just want to add just a wee bit of color to it, okay? So, and because this is a watercolor brush pen, I can do this. And then if I want to, I could go back over this with an actual brush, you know, like a watercolor brush. But like I said, I'm not going to be real fussed about it. I do want to get this done because it's been on my shelf. I don't know what leads us to abandon projects. That's a good question, isn't it? What leads you to abandon a journal or a project and just like kind of leave it sitting? And I would love to know if you guys can ditch it and go on to something else, or are you a completion junkie and you just got to get that thing done and then it, you know, I just love to know. I think the whole process behind art and creating things is so much about that, you know, that energy that you put into a project like this, and the intention behind it. I just think that those things are very, very interesting. I love to know why, you know, why people create and why they do what they do. You know, for me, this is like my outlet. You guys know that I come here from the music business, and this is just a very high stress kind of job. I had it for, I don't know, like, I guess maybe 30 years. I was in the music business, and it's just a, you know, it just is what it is. We all have to have those things that we do kind of for a living that, you know, it's weird because a lot of my, a lot of the things that I wanted to just do as a hobby became my profession, including art. You know, I was just gonna do some things for funsies, and then it was like, well, you know, I can't, it's difficult to spend this much time on funsies because, you know, you got to have some funds rolling in. So, you know, there's that. Like, again, you know, not being fussed, not being really, I just wanted some color here. That's all. Again, these Poétique markers, I'll try and find an Amazon link and leave it in the description box below. Okay, so we have flipped through. We have finished the front and back cover of our abandoned journal. Now we're going to decide our finishing steps. Tip number 3 is decide finishing steps. Would I like to glue anything else in here? Would I like to add color? Yep, I did that to the front. I'm not really fussed about doing anything on the inside of this journal. Do I need to add some interest? To me, adding interest are things that move, like bookmarks. So let's get our little book back together. If you want to see how this was coming along, I will link the videos in the description box below about how this journal was birthed. All right, would I like to glue anything else in? I'm pretty happy with how things are. I don't see a ton of, I do see this. That's kind of a blankish space, and I still have my little box of fodder right here, and I can probably, oh my gosh, look at that. Somebody sent this to me, and I just thought it was so dang pretty. And look, it just goes absolutely perfectly right here. So let's, because this is a chunky piece, this is a piece on some cardboard. And, you know, kind of, oh my gosh, it's a mini book. Look at that. So somebody made this, and you know, I am super blessed with people who send things to me, and I am so excited about that. Let me grab a paper clip. I just like the cover of it. I thought, oh, that's pretty. And I don't even know who sent it. You know, maybe Kathy F sent it? I'm not sure. So, all right, what I'm going to do here is just kind of pin this here. I think that looks so pretty, don't you? Oh, golly gosh, I think that is just awesome, man. Oh, I just love it because it's so junky, junky, junky. All right, so we're going to do that. That still leaves us here. So let me see if I can't find, you know, my trusty Duke's label. I like that. We're going to do that. And we'll just grab a glue stick and slap that in there. And then we'll continue our flip and see if there's anything else we want to add. And, you know, this is getting, it's getting hard to, not hard, it's just, it's getting tricky to kind of flip through it because it's not bound. But, you know, that's why we didn't bond it, because we knew we weren't quite done with it. All right, so we have that page all done. I love this. This was a Chewy advertisement. I think this was a Chewy advertisement. I get a lot of those. Most of this is from, and you can see that I created pockets here. Again, you know, check out the videos of, I think I did a couple videos about putting this together. Speaking of putting it together, let's think about a binding and a closure for it. So step 1, flip through. Step 2, finish the front and back cover. Step 3, decide on any other finishing steps. You know, you want to glue anything else, you want to add more color, you want to add some interest, what do you want to do? Step number 4, bind and closure. We are going to do a fairly simple binding on this. Now, here's the problem, y'all, and it's not a problem. It's just we're gonna see if this works. I have a binding needle. I have some floss, and we're gonna see if we can poke enough holes through this. This journal wasn't really gonna be this chunky. This journal wasn't going to be this chunky. How many times have we said that? How many times have we said that? And then it like turns into a chunky monkey and you're like, wow, how did that happen? I love it when that happens. I think it's a lot of fun when that happens. So if you're not familiar with pamphlet binding, this is how it comes together. And I worked for years and years, y'all, and did not have a Pokey tool. This is a Pokey tool. This is We Are Memory Keepers Pokey tool, and I will try and list this in the description below so you can check it out. This has been one of my bestest purchases in the whole wide world. I love my Pokey tool, and for so long I did not have one. All right, we are going to kind of flip through here like this and just make sure that we have our papers arranged where they're kind of bindable. That humming in the background is Chris. He's not humming, like vocal humming. He is sanding a car and prepping it for paint, which is, he's a fascinating guy, y'all. All right, let's bind this. But I can hear the. First thing we want to do, get a Pokey tool, kind of arrange your pages, and then we poke right down in the very center. I eyeball it, and we're going to poke right here. And then we're going to poke right here. Here is a handy little tip it's not on our tip list. Always have your binding needle, which is just a needle, nothing special about it, and your floss ready to roll, because when you get your book like this, you'll want to just be sure that you've got your edges straight. You know, this is a tricky one because she is chunky. So you might have to like do your holes a couple of times, see? So we come in, because we want our knot, our binding knot on the inside of this book, we start from the outside, okay? So you bring it, no, that's not right. If you want it on the inside, you start on the inside, okay? So I started on the inside. Let's do it again. I start on the inside because I want my, I'm just evening things up here. I've lost the hole. Hold on. We'll get it back. Oh, darn. I mean, I was wanting to show you guys that, but I don't think it's going to work quite the way I wanted it to. All right, so we're starting on the inside. We want our knot on the inside. So we'll poke this way. We'll pull it up and then go through the bottom hole right here. We've got so much chunkiness going on. I learned to bind journals from Jenny Belly, and she was the queen of binding, is the queen of binding. She is the queen of so much. All right, so the bottom one, and then we're going to go through the top. And you can see how dreadful wiggly it is. If you wanna, you can always use some binder clips, you know, and bind things that way, but I'd be in a hurry, so I'm not going to do that. All right, there we go. I'd be in a hurry because I want to get outside after lunch. The greenhouse is going great. And then we're going to come back up through that middle hole there. The greenhouse is going great. My tomatoes look really good. I have lost a cucumber plant, which made me kind of sad. I don't know what happened to that cucumber plant. It did not thrive. And I'm learning a lot about, you know, the watering cycle and things in greenhouses is just like different if you have. All right, so we've pulled this up and now we're getting ready to settle our knot in. I did not know you had to water like pretty thoroughly and often in a greenhouse. I thought the humidity might, you know, might do something there. If you're interested in things like that, I do have a Patreon site and I post about what I'm growing and how I'm growing it. Okay, so now we've got our binding done. Now we got to think about our closure. This book, because of the way that I put it together, has a sweet little pocket in the front. I don't want to add a closure to this book. I don't want to add a permanent closure to this book. What I want to do is I grabbed some fiber. So we will just tie this together and I'm going to have to pause the video. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, Chris is working on a car, and I thought I heard him say he needed help. I'm looking for my glasses. Okay. All right, so the closure is next. Remember, we didn't want to put a permanent closure on this, but rather something that we could just easily take on and off. And I think I'm going to use this. Isn't this pretty? If y'all know like where this comes from, let me know, because I got it in, you know, one of you sweet folks sent me a little box of goodies, which is always so much fun. So I love it. I love the texture of it. It has a good feel. It looks very organic and earthy, and I just really, look at that. Isn't it pretty? Very, very pretty. I could use my lens app and figure out where that came from. Do you guys use a lens app on your phone? You can also do it like on Amazon or eBay if you're looking for something. There's a little photo icon up there in the search bar, which I didn't even realize that till the other day. I was like, oh, okay, so I can take a photo of something. I can be on Amazon. I can take a photo of something and see if Amazon has it or if eBay has it or Etsy or whatever. All right, so we are done with our little journal. The next step, so we've done our flip through. We've finished the front and back cover. We've decided on any other finishing steps, you know, that final looks kind of thing. We've done our binding and our closure. My friend Leanne always wrote a note to her journals. When she had a new journal, she would write like a welcome to this journal. I hope you find me a great experience. In any intentions that she had for her book. And I thought that would kind of be a fun thing for us to finish up with today. I've got just a blank index card, and what I want to do is just maybe add a little bit of collage to this, and then I'll write a note to my journal. I did some travel magazine harvesting, and I thought that it would be just kind of fun to take some of these colors and shifting images and things like that. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to tear this up, and we're just going to make a very quick collage for our little note to our journal. You know what we could do? We could fold this in half and make it like I could do the front cover, and then I could write my note right there. So, you know, we just kind of elevated what we were doing, which is always, you know, fun when you can, when an idea pops in your head, you can do something so simple and easy and yet so effective at the same time. So I'm just taking, you know, in honor of Miss Shannon Green, who we all love, I am kind of doing painty paper strips here. Only I didn't painty the strips. I'm just using a beautiful photograph of a sunset and kind of just collaging that on here. See, that worked out really, really pretty. I'd like an image to go in here, and as I was looking through these things, I did see just a sweet, beautiful image of Italy. Let me see if I can find that again. Isn't that pretty? And this lady is just sitting, and it almost looks like she's looking over St. Mark's Square, but I'm not sure that's what that is. I'm not even sure that's Italy, but we're going to say it's Italy. So there we go. I also have the word hiking. I'm not going to use that, but you know, if you wanted to choose a word for your note to your journal, you know, like your welcome page or whatever, you know, it's kind of like the preface of a book, because basically, I mean, that's what a journal is. It's a book that you write and illustrate. So let me see. Let's see. High Freedom Journal. And the journal does say freedom right there. I am going to say thank you. Thank you for dropping, because really that's what this dropping into my creative life. And smiley face. I hope we have great adventures together. Love, Tammy. All right, so I thought on this page, I'm going to list what I used to create this book. And what I use, a list of ingredients, because that's kind of ingredients. Is that right? I used food labels and packaging. And I used junk mail. And I used my Poétique marker. And was there anything else? I don't think so. I think that was it. You know, various, we'll just say various images. Again, all the images were from junk mail. Okay, so there we go. I have created a little note to my journal. So I am going to stick that in this little front cover right here. And there we go, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you will review, you know, your stash of journals, because I bet you're going to find something in there that is abandoned and maybe wants a little bit of love today. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please consider sending me a thanks. This should be a video that is linked to my spring store, where you will find some of my merchandise that features my art, mostly watercolor paintings and things like that. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. See you soon. Bye.